Hey guys, it's your boy Sushi here with another NTE video. So it is official, guys. NTE will be releasing 4/29, so April 29th. And in this video, I'm going to be going over my review for the game as a casual gacha game player. Okay, I got about between 20 and 30 hours into this game during the closed beta that just recently ended. And honestly, I had quite a lot of fun. So the way the video is going to work is I'm going to talk about the things that the game does well. So we're going to be talking about like the gacha system, the characters, the design, the main story, all that stuff, all the good stuff. And then we'll also talk about the things that the game can improve on or perhaps add to the game to make the game even better. Because this, I believe, NTE is the most anticipated gacha game for this year, 2026. So it's going to be really exciting to see how the game plays when we have the official launch. I think there's also going to be an open beta before this official launch. So stay tuned for news and info on that in case you guys want to play the open beta as well. And hopefully I can get access to that since I am an official NTE creator, right? So we'll see about that. But let's hop right into it. I'm going to be showing some of my gameplay while I just talk over my thoughts about the game. Okay. So first off, right, I want to establish that this is putting like this is entirely my experience from playing the closed beta, and I'm also going to not talk about any of the lag, any of the bugs, any of the graphic optimizations and crashes and stuff like that because that's expected, right? Because it's still a closed beta, okay? So putting all that aside, let's start off with what the game does well. So I think one of the biggest things that is really hype about NTE is the gacha system. Okay, so you guys can see here we have like a monopoly board, like a board game type of gacha system. Okay, but the biggest thing is that there is no 50-50. Okay, guys, like NTE could be big enough to completely change the trajectory of the gacha game industry and how they monetize the gacha games, right? Because the 50-50s are terrible, all that stuff you guys already know. Genshin is absolute terrible. The weapon banners are scam. You know, like one of the better games, like Wuthering Waves, at least it's 100% of weapon banners, but it is true you still have 50-50s on it, you know, so it is what it is. But I'm thinking NTE can be big enough to completely shift the gacha game industry over to a no 50-50 type of system. Maybe even even Genshin, Honkai Star, all that stuff, maybe they can even change over to a no 50-50 system. Who knows? Who knows? I have no clue. Okay. So the gacha system, it's pretty normal for this game. 90 summons. You get the soft pity around I think at 70, and then the board game changes pretty much, and then you have a chance to get the S rank when you hit at least 70 pulls, right? The soft pity looks really cool. I really like this new animation system. I think it's a really cool novelty, right? But obviously eventually once you've done it a couple times and you summon, you kind of just want to summon, right? No one really wants to do all this board game stuff the entire time. Unless you do. If you do, then that's great, right? More power to you. Just enjoy the game how you want. But one of the other big things about this gacha game system is that you get a lot of extra rewards while you're summoning. That is a massive plus. Okay, one of the 10 pulls that I did, I got 6 pulls back. Like I actually got 6 pulls back. You also seem to get 11 summons or 11 rewards for 10 pulls, as you guys can see, right? But yeah, like you get a lot of stuff back. You get premium currency like the coral in Wuwa, but I don't know what it's called for this game. But yeah, you get a bunch of pulls back, and it's honestly really generous. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is insanely generous. And on top of that, okay, on top of that, when you're rolling for limited banners, right, you can also roll skins. Okay, so we're not talking about just skins for the character. We're talking about skins for the glider, skins for the car, all that stuff. It is absolutely insane. Okay, this gotcha system is amazing, absolutely amazing. I love it. We obviously have to wait for we have to wait to see how many summons they give per patch, you know, because just off the top of my head, I know Wuwa gives at least 110, ZZZ gives like even more than that. I know Genshin gives like freaking like 60 summons, you know, 60 summons a patch, which is absolutely terrible, you know. So I'm thinking this game is gonna be super duper generous, super duper F2P friendly, and the character and weapon banners also carry over. Okay, so that's the actually I'm missing the weapon banners, right? So the weapon banners There's like a different currency that you roll for it, right? These, it's like these keys. But I've been told by a bunch of other of the closed beta testers that the weapons are pretty much free in this game. Like you don't really need their signature weapons. The game gives you a lot of weapons just doing other stuff, and we'll talk more about that later. But the weapons, you don't really need their signature weapons. So if we're talking about generosity for the gacha games, if the calculations do prove that you don't really need all that, you don't really need all the signature weapons, then the game is going to be the most F2P friendly game, gacha game, probably of all time, right? Of all time, because you don't really need the weapons. Just save up, get whatever characters you want, right? Get the skins you want and all that stuff too. So that's really, really good. Now let's talk about other things that the game does very well that isn't a gacha system. Just from my experience from playing the game for over a week with the 20 to 30 hours that I have. And one of the first things I wrote down were the boss fights. Wow, the boss fights with the mechanics are absolutely insane. Really, really cool. Right, we have like the boss with the dancing boss where you have to jump, you have to basic attack, you have to dodge at certain times. Really, really cool. We have the big weekly boss with the wolf and a lot of parrying. And then in the main story, the boss fight was really cool because they had different phases of the boss where the boss would teleport and do a different type of attack, and you had to parry nonstop for a little bit. It was really cool, really, really cool, very fun boss fight mechanics. I'm just gonna go down my list of notes, guys. Okay, this is by no means in any order. But the character designs are very, very unique and stylish. Okay, look at these mommies, guys. You guys already know me. I love the mommies. They look absolutely amazing in this game, and the skins look fantastic as well. So I'm wishing everybody luck, whatever skin, whichever mommy, whichever characters you want. I hope you get those early when you summon. There are also a good number of daddies, right? We have, I think his name is Baikang here, and then we have the wolf. If you guys are into that stuff, and yeah, so honestly, a lot of daddies right off the launch, which is really good. And then we have all the skins, right? Like I said, some skins you can buy from the shop with either in-game currency or premium currency, and then some skins for the limited characters you also can roll them on their limited banners. And the skin's just really nice, like no joke. The skins look absolutely beautiful, right? So I'm going to guess, I'm going to make a an inference, an educated guess that the devs will be monetizing mainly off skins, right? Obviously, you can still buy summons and stuff like that, but skins seem to be the way to go because they have fantastic designs in this game, right? The NPCs, let's talk about the NPCs, right? So this game is quote unquote anime GTA, right? GTA is not complete without a variety of NPCs, and this game does that so well. There are so many different NPCs all around the map. Absolutely amazing. You run into them, you interact with them, you can beat them up, all that stuff. Very, very fun. But NPCs and design of the map as well, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. So now let's talk about the main story. I read most of the main story. I skipped maybe like 30-40% of it. But the main story is very fun and a little creepy because this is like Esper, supernatural type of stuff. But if you're into that, that's great, you know. But the game overall is very chill, very chill. And I really, really enjoyed playing through the story. The cutscenes were fantastic. The dialogue I thought was funny, quick witted, and stuff like that. Um, Overall, it's very chill. Okay, and I had a very good time playing through the main story. Let's talk about the city now, right? There is quite a lot of stuff to do around the city, right? We have the mahjong, we have Tetris, stuff like that. You couldn't really play during the closed beta, but we had stuff like the racing, right, and things like that. So one of the biggest things that I think this game can do is really like facilitate the co-op experience for this game. Okay, that's one of the reasons why GTA 5 is still so popular to this day, because you have GTA 5 online. You just call up one of your friends and say like, "Yo, let's do some GTA. Let's go like, I don't know, like rob some people, steal some cars, I don't know, rob a bank, whatever, right?" But that's what makes the game last a long time, right? Because this game, because NTE is essentially anime GTA, right? They can definitely do something that other gacha games cannot do, and that is make the player play pretty much all day, right? For me personally, Wuwa, I play the most when the new patch comes out, when new characters come out, main story comes out, and then that's it. It's just log in, do dailies 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then log off. You can also do dailies in this game for a couple minutes, but then why stop at that, right? If we have a very good co-op community within the game, it should be really, really good for the game's longevity, and just people will just play it nonstop. I think that is a huge plus for this game. If they can really emphasize the co-op, make it really fun and replayable, people will just play this game all day, all night, right? And that's essentially what any game wants. Okay. Next up, we're going to talk about the farming in this game, right? So we have normal farming with the console here. We have these Tetris pieces. We have the big chips and stuff like that. And you just farm random substats, all that stuff. It's just normal, right? Just standard RNG, module, gear, artifact, whatever it's called, farming for a gacha game. So pretty standard. Not much to say about that. It's pretty standard, so it's normal, not a big deal. Not a plus, not a minus, right? Another good thing is that if you get stuck on your appraisal level, so in this game, appraisal level is like your adventurer level or your overworld level, all that stuff. You also have these side quests called City Tycoon quests, and you level up for that. And one of the biggest things, one of my favorite things about the Tycoon level is that you get an S rank character and her weapon for free just for progressing through the City Tycoon quests. Okay, and the quests are very, very easy to do. It's stuff like decorating your apartment, it's doing certain quests, side quests, stuff like that, collecting certain things around the world. Very, very simple, very, very nice. Fantastic. Next up, we have like an actual dating system for your characters, right? So you guys can see on the gameplay, I have some of these characters. You can bring them, invite them over to your apartments. You can buy multiple apartments, stuff like that. You can like hold their hand, rock, paper, scissors with them, pat them on the head, put them to sleep, take them out, walk with them for a stroll, and all that stuff. Really, really fun. I wasn't able to experience like every single one of the different features you can do, but they're very fun. Very, very fun for sure. So obviously when the game comes out and we level up more, we have more time to play, you'll be able to unlock all of that for any favorite character that you want, right? What's next? I want to talk a little bit about the combat. So, as a Wuthering Waves and PGR player, right, both day one players, it is very hard for an action RPG to even compete, even slightly compete, with how absolutely smooth the combat system is for Wuthering Waves and PGR. Okay, it's just don't. Okay, that's which is also why I'm saying for NTE, like you should emphasize co-op, right? Because co-op for NTE could be absolutely massive, right? Don't try to beat Wuwa at one of their best things. Everybody can agree on that Wuwa has the best combat. Okay, that's enough Wuwa facts. But the point is, the game itself, the combat for NTE is still really, really good, really, really smooth. I like the passives, the QTE switching and stuff like that. Still very, very good combat. In my honest opinion, I never played ZZZ, but from what gameplay I've seen and what gameplay I've played in NTE, this game NTE seems more of a direct competitor to ZZZ than any other gacha game. So I don't know. I like ZZZ, right? I don't play it, but I know of the jiggle physics and all that stuff. I know all about that stuff. But yeah, the combat is good. Okay, so we'll see what happens in terms of like which games will compete with NTE. The next thing on my list of notes is the insane graphics and details. Okay, so I had to play the game on low graphics because it's not optimized yet, right? And I don't have the best PC. But because I'm streaming and stuff like that, I made it lower graphics. But I think when the game comes out and it's properly optimized, I can definitely play on higher graphics, right? The rain, the city details, the cars, everything, absolutely amazing, fantastic details. Okay, and there are quite a lot of buildings you can explore. Like usually in these types of open world games, the buildings are just there for show, right? But there's a lot of buildings here you can explore. Like if you go through some section of the city, there's like a whole like food, like like a market, right? Like a street market thing where you buy food, you buy accessories and stuff like that. Really, really cool. And you have like NPCs walking around, interacting and stuff like that. So it's really, really fun. No joke. Then we have the jail system. You guys, if you saw me on stream, I got jailed a couple times. It was not good. Then you have like the cafe management system. You buy properties, design them, and all that stuff. So, like I said, you literally can live in this game all day, all night. Okay, please, devs, if you guys watch this video magically somehow, I think you guys really need to push the co-op because this game people can play all day and all night. if we have enough content to play. You know what I mean? Dailies are very quick to do. I think I mentioned that already. Very, very quick. Just spend your energy, maybe level up one or two things. Very, very quick as usual, right? That's standard. There are a lot of 5-star weapons that can be earned from defeating overworld bosses, right? So that, like I said, I mentioned that earlier. It's very, very F2P friendly. All the weapons are very, very usable, even if it's not the full S rank ones. But I think you do get some S rank ones from the overworld bosses as well. So that's really good. Another really F2P thing about this game is that you guys know usually when you get character dupes, right, you have to unlock their dupe chain, right? I'm just gonna call it dupe chain for this video. But their dupe chains, you have to unlock them in order. For this game, as long as you have dupes, you can switch in and out whichever buffs that you want for getting dupes, right? So instead of going S1, S2, S3, you can pick S4 and S6. Maybe you're running a different build, and S4 and S6 are much better with the current build that you have. So you can pick those instead. You don't have to go through 1 all the way to 6. You know, so that is honestly a very good change there. I didn't even know that was possible. I'm not gonna lie. I had no clue that was even possible. So you can pretty much select the specific buffs that you want for that character. You know, so that's really, really good. And that's pretty much it for all the things that I have for all the things that the game does very, very well. Okay, so let's go over to things I think that the game should improve or include or like add to their game before the game goes on for the public official launch. Okay. So for cutscenes, you know, I think we should have some summaries like Wuwa, right? Wuwa gives summaries if you skip cutscenes. Some cutscenes, like for me personally, like I might try to replay everything when the game comes out officially. But if I get into closed beta access, you know, like I might not want to do that again, you know. But some summaries, like a sentence or two summary of the cutscenes would be perfect if we want to skip them. One thing I think definitely the game needs to work on is the end game mode. Okay, so I got to play the end game mode. I got to push it as far as I could with the current levels of my characters, but I think the end game mode is just is it doesn't seem that fun, right? It seems to just be straight HP inflation, you know, and I don't really think that's too fun. One of the biggest things about this game that I find fun are the boss fights. So like why are we not having boss fights for the end game mode? We're just having mobs, and the mob is like 3 or 4 of the same mobs, just with more HP each level, and I don't really think that's fun. I don't really think that's challenging, right? You guys, like for NCE, there's so many good boss challenges. Why don't you throw 2 bosses together? You know, like yeah, throw 2 bosses together, do the dancing boss mixed with like another boss at the same time, bro. The content could be so fun and challenging, and the rewards were pretty good too. But I don't really like the HP inflation for it. It doesn't really make it fun for me. You know what I mean? Another thing the game needs to improve on is definitely the jumping and gliding. So you can't teleport as much in this game, right? It's more like driving. But the problem with driving is that you can't summon your car unless you're on like a main road. Okay, so we need faster jumping, gliding, running, some kind of movement to get us through the streets faster when we can't use our cars and because we can't teleport everywhere anyway. You know, there is like a movement tech for Daffodil that I discovered, and the tech is exactly like the movement tech for Galbrenna from Wuthering Waves, but not everyone will have Daffodil, right? Not everyone will summon for her. Not everybody will get her. But yeah, just a little thing I think the devs should add there for sure. And the last thing on my notes for the things that the game needs to improve is just the co-op mode, right? Like I said earlier, I'm not gonna speak too much about it again, but definitely this game people can play all day, every day, if it is that good, if it is in fact anime GTA. And yeah, I think that's it for my notes, guys. If you guys have any thoughts about the games, if you're excited for the game, just let me know down in the comments below. And like, comment, subscribe if you found this video helpful. If you want to get if you want to stay up to date on the NCE news and NCE gameplay and all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys.